So ladies and gentlemen, the control unit has two clocks. So let's draw a clock here, Big Ben, and it's got another clock here. Now these two clocks have a name. This one is known as external, and this one's known as internal. And the jobs are simple. The internal clock has a job where it needs to control all the activity inside the CPU city. So everyone in the CPU city will look at the internal clock, because the internal clock controls the cycles of all the activity which happens inside the CPU. The external clock does the same job as the internal clock, but it's for all the parts of the computer which is outside of CPU city, like memory, like storage devices, and they all look at the external clock. So it controls cycles of activity outside of the processor. The internal controls cycles of activity inside the processor. So the CPU clock ticks along. Some of them tick along quickly, some of them tick along slowly. Every second, different CPUs can perform different actions. So imagine we've got a city, and this city, sorry, one second, because my mouse is stuck. Here we go. Can have lots going on. So imagine we've got circuit city inside the CPU, or should I say CPU city. Each person, each car, each light is an individual action. Now imagine a world whereby only one person can move at once. So let's take this person here. Every time the clock spins round, this person moves. Now, the sooner this person moves to this side, then the next person can move, then the next person can move. However, fast CPUs can perform many actions in a second, billions of actions. So even before the second is up, this person could be from here and end up here. Whilst slow CPUs will have a person here, then after a second, here. So the faster the CPU, or the clock shall we say, the less time it takes to separate separate actions. So it looks like everything's moving along at the same time, quickly. But in reality, what happens is, one action's done at a time, but modern day CPUs make it look like it's all running at once. So the correct term is that a CPU clock, which belongs to the control unit, has what's called defined frequencies, otherwise known as clock speed. And clock speed is basically the minimum period of time that separates activities, successive activities. The faster the clock speed, the more activities can be run per second. So when you see CPUs with a clock speed of, let's have a look at a CPU. CPU, let's take out clock speed, CPU, 3 gigahertz. Okay. So 3.8 gigahertz is basically 3 billion actions per second for that CPU, based on that clock speed. 3 billion. Whereas you can get different clock speeds with in the olden days it used to be megahertz, but now CPUs clock speeds have got a lot better.